Hey everyone, and welcome to Limited Appeal. Today we're doing another Premier draft for Lorwyn Eclipsed. We've been doing a little pick 2 lately, but I think I'm going to go back to doing some regular Premier drafts now. I'm feeling a little burnt out on the pick 2. A few too many for me, I guess. And the queue times are just like infinitely better on the regular old Premier drafts. People are actually playing them, it seems, I guess. They're not clicking ready, admittedly, but there are people queuing up for them. Is more than I can say for pick 2 drafts right now. Despite the fact that I honestly like pick 2 as a format. I don't think regular Premier drafts are strictly better or anything. I think it's a much different experience, and I don't know, I think more people should be playing it than there currently are. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing here that's like amazing by itself, but the Slumbering Walker is just by far the best card in this pack. There's not really anything that I could justify taking over it. Like, Curse Tosser is fine, Feed the Flames is fine, Protective Response is great, but the Slumbering Walker can, I'm not going to say win you games by itself, but it can definitely do a good job of winning or bringing you back from games that you were losing. Rhyme Speaker is a pretty good card here. Pitiless Fists, I think, is really good. And green-white is somewhere that you're happy to be with the Walker. Perhaps, I don't know if it's the best place. Like, I don't know if I like Kithkin for the Walker or if I like Merfolk more for the Walker. They're both pretty good. The Vinebred Brawler is also pretty good, but I think it's between the Rhyme Speaker and the Fists for us. I'm just going to take the Fists because it fits in a lot more decks than the Rhyme Speaker does. Reaping Willow is interesting here, actually. It gives us more ways to recur things. Maybe we kind of just try to build a deck that works with all of this stuff. I mean, the mana cost is a little rough on Reaping Willow, obviously. And black-white is not something that you come to very naturally. The Wary Farmer is really good here too. I don't really love it. I mean, Great Forest Druid is solid in most decks. Noggle Robber is fine in most decks, but there's nothing here that's amazing to me either. So the Reaping Willow will probably be our pick. And then this is interesting because the best card by far, in my opinion, is the Wellguard. And we haven't really seen Merfolk come in our direction yet, but I don't love anything else here either. Like, the Shield Bearer is great in any deck that is playing white, basically. And the Blossom Bind is really good in any deck that's playing blue. But the Wellguard just has so much potential to blow your opponents out sometimes if you get some good Merfolk going with it. The red cards don't impress me. Yeah, we'll just take the best card here and see where the draft leads us, I guess. Spinners is fine. I don't know. I mean, Hex is fine too. So is this. Assert Perfection is maybe the best card here, just objectively, and it kind of works with some of the stuff we have. Kind of. Cavalry is also, this is a pretty late Cavalry, I think. This card is usually a lot better than most of the other elves you're going to see early. We see two decent elementals here as well. I don't love any of this black, but it does appear to at least be open. Green, white, blue is a thing that works. If I'm saying green, white, blue is a thing that works, I think Wary Farmer is maybe just a bit better than everything. Yeah, I think Wary Farmer is just a little bit better. Charge is good. I really like Charge. Lissalana Informant is also basically just playable in any green deck. Midnight Tilling is perhaps not what we're looking for, although it does have some synergy, obviously, with what we have so far. I I think Auntie's Sentence is just the best card here for us. Most of the Black Wheel, that's actually really interesting. We haven't really seen any payoffs for elves, but I'm not. I mean, the Curse Tosser being there is just crazy to me. That's good. I mean, we'll probably play Dream Caesar. Champions of the Perfect is really good, but I currently have no elves. I don't even have any changelings. And that's obviously something we can work on. I kind of feel like we're going to get elves this like pack as well, because there weren't any. I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say weren't. We saw a few elves, and then some of the elves wheeled, which is like crazy. Yeah. I think taking anything else there is wrong. You're an elf. I think I want to take like elves more aggressively now too, just if they fit in this sort of like hybrid deck, right? Wary Farmer works because it doesn't need Kithkin. Reaping Willow works because we have two colors that support it. I don't know if we play Curse Tosser, but is that better than Winnowing for us actually? See, the thing is, Winnowing is actually not good for us. We lose creatures most of the time right now if we play Winnowing. We don't have like a mono typed deck, fortunately. Which makes me think the Mutable Explorer is probably a little bit better. It counts as an elf, and it's actually a pretty good one to champion too. I would love this Evolving Wilds, but I think the Mutable Explorer kind of just fits the best right now. It's not like anything special, but it's totally playable here. I mean, the Pummeler is going to be somewhat like we're not going to be casting it for full most of the time, but maybe another Curse Tosser, and we're kind of just like, there's no elves here, so there's no like big joy. I mean, maybe Andy Sentence is actually better, second Andy Sentence. But I think it's close between all three of these for us right now. Bark of Doran doesn't do much. If I'm taking creatures, I don't know that I really want Kithkin right now. Like, I think defense just makes more sense. It leaves us a little bit more open to hopefully find something for this champion. That's like the third one in this pack. That's crazy. Squeeze being here is crazy too. That Changeling would be fine in our deck. The Brawler is actually in any deck, I think. Wretch doesn't work so well for us because we don't have any counters to put on it. I think the Wary Farmer makes the most sense here. Yeah, there's nothing else I want. I kind of just want to take the Graspling so that we have more options for elves. I don't know that I'm going to. Guilt Leaf's Embrace I might play. Curse Toss or Wheel. The thing is, Goblins is clearly open, but I also haven't seen a good Goblins deck pass us by. Gathering Stone in almost any other deck that we've ever built is amazing. But we also don't have any 2-drops, really, actually. We have 2 1-drops that don't block, and then we have no 2-drops. We have an okay number of 3-drops. Like, our curve is horrible. But I think I'd rather this Embrace over the Lieutenant. Like, the thing about the Lieutenant is that it's 2 colors. And that's not necessarily the kind of 2-drop I want right now. Shadow Urchin is quite playable here, but Stun Duelin Weaver might be better. Yeah, I think the Weaver's probably better for our deck, and it's a 2-drop if we need to. The problem is it's still not an elf. You're not an elf either. You are an elf, actually, but then... Okay. This draft sucks. I think we just have to take the 2-drop. That is an elf. Even though I would love the Blight Rot. Solar doesn't really do anything for us. Like, we don't have that much instant speed stuff in this deck. In fact, we may have none. Do we have actually none? We have 1 Blossom Defense and a Charge. You can also take Keep Out, but I kind of just want this from now. Yep. I don't love it. We need creatures. We just need them. Make this work. Dose of Dawnblow is not the worst. But Shield Bearer fits a lot better with what we need right now. So I think we're actually probably good on drops now. I don't know if we want a 3rd trick like that, but I don't really want anything else in this pack. We could have rare drafted, actually. We'd probably put it better for our gems. I often forget to rare draft things. Now the Wildvine Pumpler feels a lot better. I definitely don't need the Changeling. Well, actually, in hindsight, maybe the Changeling would have been better because of the champions. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. We probably want to play that. Actually, how many? We probably have enough elves. How many elves do we? 5, and then 2 shapeshifters and a Mutavault potentially. Honestly, I feel like I actually might even play that. If it's Briggs, I don't think I want to play. This is an interesting deck. I don't expect it to do well. It doesn't do anything well, and its payoffs are kind of really weak. 19 creatures. I don't know how I feel about the Curse Tossers. Are there any, like, objectively bad creatures right now? The Caesar, maybe not necessary. We have 2 druids, which makes me think that maybe we can cut, like, a land. But the problem is that our mana base is really awkward. How much removal do we have? We have 1, 2, kind of 3 and 4, 5. We could probably cut an Anti-Sentence and cut a Swamp. It's awkward that 2 of our blacks cards are at the bottom, but then we have 1, 2, 3 sources of black, 4, 5 sources of black. And I don't necessarily actually want to cast either of these on turn 2 anyway. I think that's fine when we have 2 druids because they're not land, but they are pseudo land. Yeah, that is actually like, I don't know if I could ask for a better hand with this deck, actually. If we hit a land, we can play champions on turn 4 with Blossoming Defense up. And we did. That's crazy. Hashtag combo. You just need to make sure this taps right. I think it will auto tap right, but you never know, right? I'm surprised they flipped that, unless they have like nothing else to play this turn. Or they don't have a 3-drop, I guess. Or that, I guess. It's just... I guess they probably just wanted to get the draw an extra card this turn. And if they had that, that's it, I guess. But they didn't flip it, so they have a 4-drop that they care about, or removal that they care about. I guess we just do that. We probably just play out 2 creatures, right? I mean, the thing about this is that every creature we draw is another card right now. I don't care about the shield bearers anymore, I don't think. We're just going to start beating. If they want to trade the mentor for the shield bearer, that's fine. You have it? You have something? What is it? Protector. Oh my god, they have protective response! Okay, well, that's unfortunate. It's funny because I was thinking, like, in my head, I was like, oh, they don't have protective response because they don't have a white source right now. Derp. I forgot this was blue-white. Man, that sucked so bad. I can't believe I did that. And now we're going to get, like, mega punished for it, I think. I misplayed that so badly. I forgot this was blue-white. I just can't believe I did that. So anyways, we're taking a bunch of damage now. And this is fine because we're going to remove this unless they have some way to stop us. Which they very well might, honestly, given what they've left open. Not. I'm sorry, why the hell would you tap like that? Can you untap it? Do you have the untapped Merfolk? Merfolk, do you actually have the untapped Merfolk? Oh, just another protective response. That's fine. I don't care about that. But come on, you had 2 of them. Like, our opponent's doing some crazy stuff. Yep. Fun fact, they were never coming. Oh, actually, they could have come back. We do have Dungeon. So, like, we could do this, and that doesn't help me at all. But we could play this out and then block that, which is fine to me. We could also just play out this. And then if they have something, we take even more damage, but this lets me draw a card and block their Percher. We can also anti-sentence. But I think it's better to just go for the trade if they offer it to us. Yeah, that's annoying. Do I have any good targets for that? I don't. I mean, I can get back my shield bearer, obviously. I feel like getting this down might actually be more valuable right now because, like, we do have a reach blocker on board. And this gives us some lifelink to sort of slowly get back our health. I can't believe we gave up our champion to a misplay. That hurts. Do you actually have more removal? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's annoying too. I think that getting the Reaping Willow down makes the most sense here. Solely for the reason that it blocks and gains its life. If our opponent has more removal, then like I don't really know how I can keep playing this game, honestly. Like, they just need to stop having ways to disrupt my board. Between response, Rhymekin, Farewell, like, come on. Half of the cards they've played have removed things from my board. Do I just go and look at their hand? I kind of want to. Is it another protective response? That would be hilarious. I wasn't doing the math, guys. I should have just handy said this, but whatever. I don't. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm playing really badly this game. I'm just not using enough of my brain. Oh my god. And we could have got the Kithkeeper! Ah! Okay. Everything's okay. Everything is okay. Everything is totally okay. Not constantly getting pushed or anything. Like, they could, again, block this with everything and keep their Kithkeeper alive. and then have nothing on board. Because the Kithkeeper won't like fly without all of this stuff, right? So if they want to block everything, then I'm fine with that. And leave themselves with a Kithkeeper. Or they could do like this, which I think is way better for me. Oh, yeah. Because I just want the Kithkeeper dead. If they trade their Kithkeeper for my Pummeler, totally cool. I don't currently care about all of them. Like, I might wind up caring about them later, but currently this is totally cool. Because that would be trading with the Kithkeeper on my turn anyway, and doing it this way gets me like some extra damage, I guess. But yeah, last turn I definitely made a mistake by attacking with the Reaping Rod. That was undoubtedly like unforgivable. And yeah, I could attack with one Mutavault. If they want to double block it, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. The thing is, anti-sentence does almost nothing for me at this point. I think we just make this smaller, actually. But then does that... No, because then that discourages them from blocking. I think we don't do anything, actually. I think we do this. And then we'll kill it post-combat, depending on how they block. Yeah. Then if you double block it. Okay, cool. This works. We'll kill the Distractor. So despite doing everything in my power to throw this game, we appear to have not thrown the game. So that's nice. Our opponent had a really nice deck, though. There was so much removal. We just somehow got there with our jank. I find that like drafting jank decks in this format is going like surprisingly well. They are performing way better than I would expect. This is not perhaps great, but we do have a turn 3 play and insert perfection. It gets way better if we top deck a planes, which is unlikely because we don't have a lot of planes in this deck. But Monkey's Paw or something. Monkey's Paw Curls. Or one, the Monkey's Finger Curls. And obviously we want planes here. This will probably die, like, immediately. That's my prediction. And obviously if they play out a creature here, it's ideal for us. But they won't. Died immediately. Okay, I mean, that's actually not bad. I wish we would have got this out in turn 2. Of course, but... yeah, I mean, I don't like that. Do I not like it enough to just kill it and then swing in for a bunch? Not really. Kind of want to do this though. I will pump it, and you will lose your creature, and I will get it back. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, sure. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think we're gonna beat that. I mean, playing out the Walker first gets me my Shield Bearer back no matter what. Playing out the Reaping Willow leaves us open. And I kind of want to get the Brawler back with it anyway. But yeah, this is going to be almost impossible for our deck to beat, unfortunately. We don't have any way to... Okay, yeah, I mean... I'll be honest, maybe you should have played that first, but I wasn't actually looking at the board, so I don't know if you could have. But yeah, there's like, I think, almost nothing that I can do about the nursery. So like, this is just going to make extra creatures every turn. Like, that's absurd. Every time they have, that's two tree folk for every land you play. And again, I currently don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I guess obviously we'll just do this. I would have liked to use this on something else, I guess. I think it's better as a 3/6 right now. Even though, like, I just don't think I'm going to get that much more value from it, unfortunately. Yep. If you have anything, I'm just like I can't play around things right now. Sure. Like, it felt pretty obvious that they were going to have something there, but I don't really know what else I should do. These guys, if I want any chance of winning, these guys need to start dying. I actually think the deck is performing pretty well this game, too. Our opponent just has something that we have no reasonable way to beat with our deck. There's just not a whole lot I can do. Other than draw, like, our champions of the perfect and pop off. I will trade my Vinebred Brawler with your Luminolisk, for sure. Yeah, that's hard. I think we, like, our best chance is just make our board wider than theirs at this point. And part of me thinks that I don't play out my creature right now, because if we top deck our champion, I want to be able to draw cards with it. And right now, at least, this on the board doesn't do anything for me. But leaving open 5 mana means that my Reaping Willow can actually block stuff, I guess. I don't like this game. This game is dumb. This game is dumb. Magic is a silly game. That actually works, right? If we do this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do we pump? If their last card's removal, their last card's removal, you know? Alright, well. Now we can get some more dudes back, too, if we ever need to. Actually, no, that's perfect! I should have attacked! What am I doing? What am I doing? This is, like, absolute, like, god tier plays that I'm making here without even realizing that I'm making them here. Something has to block the brawler as well. This is combo city. Combo city. Oh my god. Just don't remove my Willow. I see the combo. I see the value. I totally meant to do all of this. The question is, do I embrace the Luminolisk? No. No, I don't. I can play this out, though, and that feels good. Now we just hope that our opponent doesn't draw removal, I guess. Like, if they can deal with the Reaping Willow, that would suck. Like, once the Reaping Willow gets up to 6, I feel a little bit safer with it. Obviously, Luminalis can still assert Perfection, which would be unfortunate. That's fine. We're getting him back again. Still potentially trading. And the thing is, like, we can start attack. We can attack with a Mutavault here as well, because that will be a 4/3 attacker. So now they actually have no easy way to deal with the Willow that I can think of. And they could sack their Sapling Nursery this turn, but that doesn't seem very good for them either. Anyways, I'm just going to call this one of the best plays I ever meant to make. I totally forgot I'd had Wither. I mean, we could embrace this. Okay, if I embrace it, how many other ways do I have to wither my Willow? I don't think any. Right? This is my last source of wither in the deck. Sorry, this is my last source of deck. I think we just cast it. See if they have anything. And I think I attack with all because they have to block the brawler, and obviously they could have a trick that blows me out a little bit here, but I'm not too concerned about that because they haven't had a trick so far. We could have played out the archer and surveilled, and that might have been the right play, actually. But cool. I did not think there was any way we were going to get there, but it turns out that we just drew every answer that we needed when we needed it, even when we didn't realize that it was the answer that we needed. But I felt pretty good either way. I actually just hit the dragon with the tree because I wanted the extra life. It just happened to be like the best thing to put the Pitiless Fist on. That play, I think, single-handedly won us the game. And I can't even pretend that I meant to do it. Yep. That is keepable. In fact, it is fantastic. Blood Crypt. Are we going to see some goblins, or are you splashing something? Okay. I don't think we're going to see goblins. I mean, technically a goblin. Yeah, in fact, it is technically a goblin. Don't see a reason to trade with it. Dundulin Weaver doesn't currently do much of anything for us. Honestly, I think there's a world where I block there, but I don't really want to figure out what it is that they're threatening me with. I mean, we could attack with both. Play out the defense if they block, and then get this down too, which feels a little bit better than playing Assert Perfection, actually. Even though we lose our Blossoming Defense, but it does sort of act as removal if they choose to accept it. I mean, they could also just view this as an attack where I'm just trying to get in extra damage, right? There's no reason for them to think I necessarily have a trick that I'm threatening here. And now the question is, do we assert perfection right away, or do we just play out the brawler and hold up the defense? I think we just play out the brawler and hold up the defense. Because, like, if their turn is in fact just playing out, just drawing a card and then playing a 2-drop, I'm not so worried about that. We'll bin this because I can, if I want to play out the Weaver next turn, we can just go get it back. I don't really care. Like, it doesn't do a whole lot for me right now. And if that changes, we can obviously go get it. You're gonna kill my brawler? Because I will save my brawler. Promise. I think they want to draw a card. I think that's what they do. And then that still feels fine because we just assert perfection at next turn with the brawler anyway. Because the brawler is guaranteed to live basically at this point, so. And then we probably done the Lorwyn Weaver so that we get the Surveil. Even though I don't really care that much about this card. Or we get a back our brawler. They really want to know what this brawler does, I think. Which is fair. It's like a pretty good card. Oh, that's actually really good. Oh. Doesn't really matter how I do this. I think that lets us draw. That lets us play out our walker, but I don't know that I want to spend a whole turn trying to cast my walker. Okay, well, hindsight obviously would have been good, but there's no good attack where I buff everything. We'll just do this, get the surveil. Now I'm concerned to some degree about how this is going to go for us. Again, I would love to have another white source to just drop the walker, but I don't really get anything back with it right now. Oh, gross. Okay. Ugh. It's too bad. I mean, now it's really good that we didn't keep the Evolving Wilds, because that would have been nothing. If they have another Boulder Dash, that would be really good for them. I think there's another world where we could have like played that a little bit differently, and instead of saving the Shield Bearer, we could have asserted perfection, pumped the brawler to keep the brawler on the board, and then got the Shield Bearer back with Lorwyn Weaver. And the benefit to that is that we would have had the 4-2 on the board for an extra turn, but in hindsight, it would have just run straight into the Blighted Blackthorn, so it wouldn't have done a whole lot for us anyway. But yeah, now we're really far behind. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand and has a way to like draw more whenever they need to, whenever they feel like they need to. They're going to feel like they need to anytime soon. Especially not when all I'm doing is drawing land. I mean, we will trade with the Zealot for sure. They swing with it, and if not, then whatever. I think, like, I don't know what really gets us out of this at this point. Champions of the Perfect isn't even really enough, I don't think. Although, obviously, would still be a great card to draw. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Too much land. Would playing out the Giant have done anything differently? Not really, right? And none of the cards that we binned would have made that game any better for us. I mean, I guess the Changeling could have maybe given us an extra turn or two, as opposed to the Elf. But, I mean, at the time, the Elf felt better. This is a hand. You don't have an Elf or a 4th land. Hopefully I can fix that soon. Well, that is a 4th land, so that's good. Now we need an Elf. Obviously, if the farmer lives, we'll probably fist the Lissalana Informant. Or that. No, that's getting fisted for sure. Goodbye. You have been fisted. Oh. Good. Not too aggressive or anything. They're probably want to find their black source now, though. Presumably that's what they're missing, yeah. I mean... I don't know if that's right. Okay, well, we will be getting rid of that for sure. They lost their save right, which feels... I mean, I don't know if I want to get rid of that this turn. I will be getting rid of it eventually. Not what I had planned, per se, but it obviously works out pretty well for us. I could have also just traded, I guess. And then next turn we can get this back and get the land back, I guess. I don't know. It's not that good, but it's something. Yeah, I might have missed... I mean, I kind of did want that. Yeah, because this way we can go Champions of the Perfect on our turn and just see... Oh, come on, man! I finally get my elf! They basically, they don't have to. We should have attacked with all. I'm an idiot. I am still an idiot. we should have attacked with all because that was lethal. It was lethal. It was completely lethal. And my brain was just like, oh, I'm going to attack with these two for some reason. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I was thinking, hey, I don't like winning the game. Forget winning games. Who needs to win games? Literally lethal. Literally missed lethal. Now, it's going to take a lot for our opponent to come back either ways, but like, we missed lethal, and that sucks. Like, we're giving them the chance to come back. That's not enough until next turn. They need another 2-drop. Like, I have to assume they have something they can cast at instant speed, or they would have, like, thrown on the, used the dagger. And we don't pump them just in case they do have something. Like, we have lethal, they need to respond to us. And lethal last turn too, but somehow missed it. Okay, I shouldn't say we had lethal last turn. We technically didn't have a lethal last turn. Well, actually, we might have. Yeah, because they were at 4, yeah. We probably had lethal last turn. And in the worst case scenario, we would have had our entire board still there and forced to chump. This is good. This is actually perfect curve because we get a turn for champions no matter what. And we get a turn to anti-sentence to see what's going on. Huh. With what I have, I think the gut splitter is the scariest thing here. And as far as we know, they don't have removal. Like, obviously, they could have top decked removal for the champion, but the removal that they do have does not hit the champion currently. So we're just going to roll it out and see what happens. And just hope that they didn't hit removal. At least one of the cards they hit was a land. Question is, do you have removal? Obviously, I'm not going to block. I know you have a seer. Like, I guess you could take that route, though. You can also hold this back, and then I can't attack. So they might just throw out this here on the Graspling here because that seems like a decent target for it. But then, because like I'm not going to walk into Seer no matter what with the champion. Right? If they hit another mountain next turn, they'll probably drop the Hurler, and then we'll embrace it on our Druid. We already got 2 cards off the champion, and we'll get another Mutavault too. They don't really have any good Unbury targets either. Oh, they're going for it, okay. I mean, I did take it away for a reason, because it does trade with my champion. Now they can play the Hurler, if they don't have anything better yet. The thing is, I'm actually not like crazy far ahead. If they can remove the champion, then I'm not that far ahead. Do you do it here or here? It doesn't really matter because no matter what happens, if this attacks, it will die. So I guess you do it here, you kill that, and then you swing with both. And then that way we at least have an 8/8 on the board. It wasn't lethal. It wasn't GG. I actually might have petered out a little bit at the end there. If you had had any removal for my champion, but... Actually, maybe we could have put that on the Mutavault as well. I don't know if that changes anything. Actually, that probably... no, it wouldn't be lethal on the Mutavault. It would have been more. It would have been... We would have probably hit them for 10 and put them to 1. So, yeah. The Mutavault was probably a better choice. I just didn't think about it. You. Okay, you know what? We're rolling the dice. This is just such a good hand if we hit a forest. Right now. Forest off the top. And most of our lands are forest. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. This is fine. We still get this on turn 3. Whatever. It's cool. No big deal. They have this scary little guy, but we have this way to remove it, and that's about it. Come on. Not a forest still. Cool, cool, cool. Obviously, we're getting punished a little bit here. We don't have that many planes in our deck, but we have down 3 of them. You should blight your elf, blight your Iron Shield elf. That sounds like. So they're not short on land. Yeah, that is annoying. Give me land. Okay. So now the obvious question is, do we roll out the Explorer and then hit the Champion of the Perfect next turn and potentially risk not having an Elf to Champion? But then this gives us an extra land. I think we just YOLO it, honestly. Just YOLO it. If they have removal, and then we concede. I'm gonna mute them preemptively. I feel like their deck, given that it's currently mono black, probably does have removal. It's too bad. It's too bad indeed. But they did kill off their Dissident for that, which actually is not the worst thing in the world. So I don't feel like we're actually losing yet. And our Forest Druids will start being able to block this Elf. It is obviously very unfortunate that they... You know, I feel like there's going to be some graveyard shenanigans. I'm just going to get ahead of that right now. There are, in fact, green cards in their deck. That's good to know. I'm going to, obviously, block this. I don't think that works. I don't think that works. I'm not sure. We can do that, right? Okay, yeah, you got my Druid. Like, the thing is, we're not in the best spot, but we're also not in a bad spot. As long as we don't flood out, I think we can probably put some bodies in front of their board for a while. And the question is, like, if they swing in with the Iron Shield Elf, do we just put the for? Oh, gross. Okay, well now we're going to win. That changes literally everything. Never mind, we're good. We're not good. we're still on a 6-turn clock. And apparently all they have in their deck is Assert Perfection, so that's cool. It's not good enough. I need something better than that right now. Me? No, you know what? No, we're not going to. I'll take another hit or two. It might be risky, but if they play something bigger or better than Abigail, like, I have ways to deal with Abigail that aren't this. Like, that, for example, I can't block. Unfortunately, we're just drawing a lot more land than our opponent, despite the fact that we have drawn less cards. Oh, gross. Okay, yeah, I mean... they should have attacked with the elf there. I would have had to block that. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. They knew what was in their hand. Yeah, our opponent had a decent elf deck. I'm not going to say it was a great elf deck. I've seen way better. We kept a very greedy hand, unfortunately, and it bit us a little bit. They had the removal and they needed the removal, and it just how it goes sometimes. Honestly, we're 4-2 with this deck, and I'm happy about that. I see nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I mean, on the draw, I don't love this hand really at all, but it could be about 10,000 times worse, I think. Don't do it. Okay, I was gonna say, don't do like a Wanderbine Trapper. A Trapper on turn 1 ruin me, but I'm not as scared about his bringing draw. Like, obviously, don't want to do some nutty Merfolk stuff with it, I would think, but... You know, who knows? I don't need another land right now. I have 4 already. I mean, that's like really annoying. Obviously, that's the okay. Yeah, I'm actually fine with that. Strangely, totally okay with you trying to remove my Lysolana on a board with a 2/1 and a 1/1. I don't know. I think like there might be a world where we attack there, just because it gives them less to convoke with. It's unfortunate that they have the liminal hold, but it still isn't even that bad for us. Do we play out a Wary Farmer here and double use the like? I think maybe we do that actually. I think there's more value to just playing out the Wary Farmer. Do I want them to double block it? You know what, honestly? I think that's fine, given what's in our hand. If they double block this, that's fine. But they didn't. They really... I feel like they should have. Now, hopefully, with this setup, we will never draw a land again. I consider that a land. I mean, it's a land that I kind of would benefit from, but we can cast Reaping Willow, which is already the hardest thing in our deck to cast, so. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. You can cast it. We can play this out. Pump it. And then we can fist this later. Like this all like then I'm missing out on 2. I'm getting a draw in exchange for 2 surveils, which I don't know if that's really worth it, but maybe it is. Yeah, I think this is probably the right way to do this. Like, we'll take damage from the Scoundrel for sure. Now we can block their swimmer as well. Okay, so fortunately, like I was going to say, we could fight the scoundrel, which seemed good, but now that we just have another dude with reach, I think we just play the other dude with reach, right? Is this too aggressive an attack? No, I think this is fine. And again, if they have removal, we're going to be kind of boned, but... we also definitely want to get the other thing. You know what? I actually don't care that much. Like, they'll just attack with everything here, which sucks, and we take a bunch of damage. But the thing is, the Sky Swarmers don't tap, so they don't... I mean, he'll probably tap the Sky Swarmer if he... like, I assume that's why he attacked this guy. So that's pretty funny. I want to take, what, 2, 4, 5... go to 9. And then next turn I can deal with the Water Shaper. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think we attack with the farmer there. I don't really want to trade it. I mean, maybe I should trade it at this point. We're obviously going to get this off the board as soon as I feel like we aren't playing something else for the turn. What happens if we attack with the archer here? Nothing good, right? And this is just going to be block, 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 and that's not very good for us either. That's going to be annoying. What do I actually want at this point? What actually helps? Like, Reaping Willow helps me. This doesn't really do anything for me right now. Dundulan Weaver probably does, actually. Not really. Oh, yeah, because did they exile my dude? Yeah. No, we obviously bend that. We get it back with the giant. So whenever we get the Reaper online, we can play it immediately. And this actually trades with things. The downside to having waited this long now, though, is that I don't get to just remove this, and he can actually kill me potentially in a few turns. still don't have a good attack. Like, these are just going, whatever, let's go. Let's do this. I think this is fine. We won't get back our, well, we could get back our druid. Maybe, I don't know if I care about the druid, honestly. All right, sure. I'm gonna mute them for the preemptive good game that I'm sure we'll get. I actually think we want that. Like, double removal actually does run through their stuff, so. And we can put another counter onto the walker. Did they just tap out for that? Oh. I don't think they can win this turn. I guess they were like, I guess they tapped out with the intention of going for the win this turn, which I think was probably a mistake because this was sort of what was keeping them alive. I mean, again, maybe they didn't know that, but like you kind of have to assume that your Guardian, once it's out, kind of needs to stay up to protect your stuff. Especially if you want to play out a big body like that, you probably want it to be alive the next turn. And you could have, like, if they had waited one extra turn to maybe draw one more land, they would have been in a better spot, obviously. I wasn't, like, threatening any big attacks either. So, I don't know. I think they probably could have played that a little bit better. Kept their Glenelendra up. And it wouldn't have necessarily won them the game, but it would have prevented them from losing the game the way. And they were in a very good position to top deck like removal and win the game. Anyways, I guess Jank is 5-2 right now. Why are my decks playing so well? I'm doing everything to try and like sabotage these games. Somehow we're still winning. Speaking of doing everything I can to sabotage, this on the play is like the worst thing I could possibly keep. We have less than 1 in 4 chance of drawing a forest. This is obviously much better. And we have a turn 4 champion. Now see, this is unfortunate because obviously, like, we could have had the Blossom up to protect it. They're blue-white. They're not exactly known for having removal that's going to hit it right away anyway. And we could attack, but then they hit me for 2 and they gain 2 and we do 1. I'd rather just have this here to block. But I'm not, yeah, I'd rather have it here to block. And then we can just hope that the Explorer lives. I can't imagine them killing the Explorer. But if they did, that would be a really good play. I don't know. Alright, here comes the counterspell, I guess. Do you have the counterspell? That would be sick. I don't know if I've ever been hit with a counterspell. Never mind. Oh, that's fine. I don't care about that. I don't care about no Glamour Might. Oh no, it's tapped. I can't block. You're a 2/2 flyer that I couldn't block anyway. But now you... No, there's not really anything... Like, you... It's still out of Pete out range. Oh. See, that's a bad play. I'm sorry. That is a bad play. Because if I actually had land here, you would be, like... You would be punished. You would be punished for this. You would be punished for this so badly. And the only reason you're not being punished for this is because I happen to have drawn poorly. This doesn't become all colors right now. Obviously, we could play out a white sword. We could spiral into Solitude instead, but... No, 2 attackers. Okay. Please remove it. Make the right play. Don't let me draw. I just get a free card. Like, what reason do you have? I need to know. I need to see what the reason is. Like, are you going to mirror form it or something? Is that where we're going with this? Do you want it on the board because you actually want it for yourself in some capacity? If you have a changeling that you want to throw at it, like, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Have you just been using, like I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, if you're doing it now, I genuinely have no idea why you're doing it. I don't get it. I don't get it. We got an extra card for free. Okay. Sure. I can't replay it technically, but like... I like to think I have a better play. Okay, well, I mean, I can't claim to know what our opponent has in their hand and how we're going to get blown out and lose, but, like, I don't know that I love the way that they're playing. I don't think that they're playing this optimally, necessarily. We could remove, like, but yeah, with the Glamourmite, we're not going to remove it. Because they're just going to play the Glamourmite and then we'll do that next turn. And seriously, if they have like a counterspell here that they're saving for the Wildvine moment, cool. That's fine. I kind of feel like that makes sense with... I feel like that's the only thing that kind of makes sense with what they played and how they played it. I think play this out over the Explorer. It's the Glamourmite. Surprise! Surprise Glamourmite. Tap down my Pummeler, maybe? Yeah. Cool. You got it. I did not want that forest. And now, this turn we're going to get rid of the Foul Knight if they don't have anything else. Okay, I mean, attacking seems fine with that. That makes sense. You're probably not blocking with it. Do you have like a Glenolendra maybe? Nope. Okay. You have another Glamourmite? Nope. Do you have a response, the one that kills an attacker maybe? Nope. Okay. We could have got in an extra damage there, but I kind of just want to do this instead. Okay. Like, I want to see how I get punished for this, kind of. For doing what I was telling them not to do. But the difference is that Foul Knight doesn't draw them cards. GG. I don't necessarily know if playing correctly would have... No, you know what? I think playing correctly would have put them in a better spot because I wouldn't have had the Reaping Willow on that turn. I would have been basically a turn behind on everything that I was doing on my board. And obviously they may or may not have been able to draw solutions to that, but letting me draw an extra card for free when you could just, like, not do that seems really weak and really, like, misplayed to me. A big misplay. Maybe not a game-losing misplay, but in this case, but, like, you just shouldn't do that. You shouldn't make that mistake. Somehow we're going for a trophy with this deck as well. Like, I don't know why our jank decks do as well as they do. We drafted, like, a decent Merfolk deck in our last pick 2 draft, and that went not... It didn't go for a trophy, that's for sure. I think it went 3 and 3, I don't remember. Yep, this is a turn 4 for a turn 3 champion potentially. If we can find a elf to go with it. An elf off the top. Come on, give me an elf. Any elf. So we could Pitiless Fist this, which I actually don't think is wrong. Very aggressive, but I don't like. We have a good hand here, and I don't want to see what they can do with that. You never know when you might want to swing for 2 with a Great Forest Druid. There probably are not many things they can do right now. Alright, our opponent's at 9. They need an answer to the perfect. Actually, that might have been the wrong auto tap because actually no, that worked good. Oh, it's a Seer, that's fine. We have Dundaloon Weaver for this exact situation. But obviously we don't want them to draw the card here, so. I feel pretty good right now. Yeah, okay. Alright, well that was like the nuttiest thing that I think our deck could reasonably do. So, GG, I guess. Somehow we got a trophy. I guess Champions of the Perfect is just that perfect. The card wins you games literally by itself if your opponent can't remove it. This just the 6/6 that draws you absurd numbers of cards. Like, I think we were probably right as well to Pitiless Fist to the Flame Brighter. I think that probably really slowed them. But yeah, I don't know. Like this deck, it felt really janky when we made it, and I think the Black Splash was probably unnecessary, but it worked out really well for us anyway. Like Andy's Sentence gave us almost no value. Bog Slither's Embrace was good, and Reaping Willow honestly did a lot of work, but it also could have been fine in a green-white deck that didn't. So I think the Black Splash might have been wrong, but who cares? We got a trophy. That's all. That's what matters. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, and check back for more drafts. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.